welcome everyone, one and all, to my reaction to episode 4 of Heated Rivalry Rose. Now, very excited to be getting into this one. Obviously, last episode we were not following our usual two peeps, and so we had a really lovely side story, which, like, that broke my heart and healed my heart at the same time. It was just so wonderfully well done that I'm not mad that we had this break from Shane and Ilia, but I'm very excited to be getting back into Shane and Ilia. I think that we left things on a very interesting note. You know, last we saw, obviously, Shane was in the elevator talking about the fact that they didn't even kiss. He obviously didn't send the message, but we were seeing his inner thoughts, and it was just very sad, because this wasn't something where it was like, oh, Ilia doesn't give a shit. It's like, he obviously cares as well. They both care for each other. Ilia's just in like such a place of overwhelm at the moment that I don't even want to like begin to think about what is going on in his head. You know, like that must just be chaos and just everything screaming at him at once. So I don't blame him for being in the place that he is right now, but I'm just hoping and praying that getting into the latter half of the season, we are going to see some development for them. I have a feeling it's probably going to go in a more negative direction before it goes in a more positive one, but I'm still very excited to see where we end up, you know. But yes, anyway, with that said then, very excited to be getting into it. So without further ado, let's jump back in to the world of Heated Rivalry. Big slay. Oh, they're against each other. Interesting.
The Montreal captain wants this whole night back.
Oh damn, they lost hard. Cute, showing the differences in their personalities.
Montreal Metros are hoisting the MLH Cup. What a feeling it must be for Captain Shane Hollander.
I saw that little smile there. That's cute. Shane's once again being a little bit more forward. So they were kissing then? Well, the subtitle's right. He was the kid mum was bullying. Wait a minute. Oh, bless him.
Sorry, Shane.
Has Ilia gone radio silent again because he went back to Russia and is now, like, dealing with the stress of his dad?
Jesus Christ, man. You gotta work on your lying. Hayden, what great news. Hayden, I'm so happy for you.
No, I mean a fourth kid. That's awesome, man.
Oh my god,
Really?
4. My sister's got 3, and I remember when she said she was pregnant with a 3rd, I was like, darling, are you sure?
Jackie is his friend, right?
Paid.
What? Dude, she's fucking hot.
Swear jar 2 times. Fuck. 3.
Okay, come on.
Oh, this is so cute. I love seeing their friendship.
Here in eastern Quebec is the house he had built on a private lake.
What does that look, Ilia?
Place on Earth?
Может, ты решил, чтобы мы остались, чтобы смотреть неважно что?
Ревнуешь?
Ты же меня знаешь. Даже не с Джейн?
Oh.
Что?
Oh god, look at that bloody defensive shield that went up there.
Ничего серьезного. Вообще.
Окей, Саша передает привет.
Well, Sasha can say bye, for all I'm concerned.
To meet a friend. Nice. I'll be back later. I won't wait up.
Shane, what is this behavior?
I don't care. Actually, I hope you do. You always play better after.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, I plan to. Probably more than once. Love a
Okay.
hotel room.
You know what, Shane? Yeah, probably best to not come back to the hotel room then. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I didn't pick up on the location. Are we at Ilia's house?
You think we need to talk? No, after. I should go.
Someone's being very loving.
Or you could stay.
Stay.
Huh.
Here's the name.
Huh.
I'm not done. Who cares what you told Hayden?
Bro, the way Ilia's talking to Shane, this is really sweet. Is someone ready to admit that they want more? Because damn.
I'm hungry. For what? For food, pervert.
Not calling him a pervert. That vocabulary is very much expanded, isn't it?
Ginger ale good enough?
Yeah, it's great.
Knows he likes ginger ale, I see.
Food will be ready soon.
It also is making me giggle. That's obviously one of his safe drinks.
Yeah, from playing against him and not wanting to fight him. You did a season with him, right?
Jesus Christ, could you get further apart on that couch?
They say you're boring too.
Who says that?
Me.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's you.
What's your favorite city to play in?
I like New York.
It's nice to see them connecting, but they're still obviously talking about hockey.
There is a girl I like here very much. Svetlana. Her father was famous goaltender of Soviet team.
Ah.
She knows everything about hockey.
That explains why she was so knowledgeable in episode 2 then.
Sometimes we fuck, but it's nothing more than that for either of us.
Okay.
But it's nice to have regular women like that around.
So you like having the regular vibe.
I think I will find someone else.
Ouch.
But you know me, I'm lazy, so.
That was a really interesting conversation. It's hard to read sometimes the vibes of these two. I feel like the way Ilia communicates is really interesting. You really do have to read between the lines.
I like girls,
Yeah, no shit.
but I also like you.
Damn.
Not this person, of course.
All
It's
right.
not, I'm boring.
But you have a good mouth.
I know you're very playful, Ilia, but you got to be careful with the things that you say to him. It's really hard, isn't it? Because understanding the neurodivergence of it all, Ilia communicates in a way that is very much you have to read between the lines. And that is just like, in a way, incompatible with autism. You know, like that's just like, that's a communication method that just like does not work. But again, like I also think it's hard for neurotypical people as well to understand that side of things because Ilia just like, almost every single thing he says you have to read between the lines, which is fucking hard. Like, it's like walking in a minefield trying to figure out what he's talking about. But the vibes that I was getting in their conversations was that he was revealing to Shane, this person that he's very close to, which that is him opening up, you know? He's also speaking about Svetlana in a way that is kind of indicating that things are not serious. He's also said that he like wants to find someone else, but he's lazy, thereby you could be taking that as like it could be you, but I don't want to really say it. Like there's just so many things to what Ilia says that is confusing at the best of times that I'm concerned because I feel like when you look at Shane's face when Ilia says these things, it looks like it hurts him. And I'm scared that he's taking it a little too much at face value, but that's not Shane's fault. Ilia is just a very poor communicator. Let's just say it like that, which is strange because he's a poor communicator in a way that you would have to have an advanced understanding of English to be this poor at communicating. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a way of communicating poorly that feels intentional, which in a way needs more skill than just like having a basic grasp of the language, you know, which like I'm not surprised. He's been bloody living in America for years now. But you know what I mean? It's like it is funny to see someone who is like using their second language in such a specific way.
Где Алексей?
Oh.
Мой брат Алексей.
Oh, didn't even remember his brother. Damn.
Ты один? Полина там? Полина, она твоя жена, папа.
So he is remarried. That's who he was mentioning in episode 2, okay? Look at him trying to compose himself before going out again.
You still hungry?
No, thank you. That's great.
Good.
How's your father?
Interesting.
I speak Russian now.
I know the word for father.
To be fair, it's pretty easy to pick up. The word for father, I mean. Not the language, Jesus. Someone was seeking some comfort, bless him. Jesus, look at them. If you compare this to, like, the sex scene at the end of episode 2, bloody hell. The contrast is crazy. I'll give it to them. The actors know how to fucking sell it, Jesus Christ. Like, they're fantastic at their role in every other way as well, but Jesus Christ. Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. So the roles have reversed then?
I shouldn't
Oh no.
stay. I can't. Team meeting in the morning that I forgot.
Okay. You forgot team meeting. Hollander.
I just...
Oh, this is really hurting my
I
heart,
can't,
bro.
Sarah. I can't do this.
Hollander.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. My heart, no. Oh, that was literally like, I was getting the same feeling in my heart as I was having for Shane previously, but this time for Ilia. Oh my god, for someone who like really struggles to open himself up and really struggles to like be close to someone, be intimate and everything, to have that like, to finally like be letting himself go and like actually accepting the intimacy and being that vulnerable with another person, to then have him like run away. Oh, that's bloody terrifying, bro, for like Ilia's mental well-being, you know what I mean? Because, and this is me like fully just reading into it way too deeply, but if you consider the fact that his mother's passed away as well, maybe there might be like abandonment issues in relation to that, fear of people leaving you, and so this may spark that up. I don't know, but God, I hope that this isn't a catalyst for like some really bad development, but I think it might be, because taking us out of the show for a second, we're on episode 4. I don't think we're going to be lovey-dovey until the end of episode 6. You know what I mean? I think that there has to be another like massive drama point, and maybe this is like the beginning of that. I'm so curious as to where it's coming from within Shane, though. Like, I was thinking that this could be an element of the autism coming into play as well, you know, because he is used to the dynamic between him and Ilia. He is, even though he may have wanted more at one point, and he obviously probably still does want more, maybe like getting used to that dynamic is something that he became comfortable with, and then with Ilia being more loving and everything, on top of what Ilia was saying earlier in the day about like wanting to find someone else, and the fact that he's obviously slept with Svetlana over the years and everything, maybe it was just like a lot of conflicting feelings that Shane just didn't know what to do about, you know, because if he's thinking to himself that this is just what Ilia wants, if this as it is just us being fuck buddies is all that Ilia wants going forward, I can't do that because I'm getting attached. I can't do that because this is really hurting my heart that we are getting this intimate with each other, this close with each other, and then I know it's not going anywhere, you know, but I don't know. It's really hard to read. I'm so curious to hear where Shane is at in his own mind, but I don't know if we will, because the show is done in such a beautiful way that it is realistic, and Shane doesn't have a support system to talk about this, like this relationship specifically, because he's told no one, that I don't know if we're going to get like a actual look into his thoughts, but I guess we'll see. I'm just so curious as to where we're going now. You know, like what is their next interaction going to be?
I think they're worried their box is too Tennessee, I think.
Does that mean too white?
I thought you liked your deal with Rolex.
So is that a yes?
I get like 2 weeks off a year. I don't want to spend it next to someone I don't know. Trying to make conversation about what? Swedish politics?
So it does end up only being 2 weeks of the year that he has off? Jesus Christ.
I think a little trip to London next summer for Wimbledon, just the 3 of us, would be fun.
You guys should go. You'd have a great time.
Interesting. Are they feeling the distance with their son?
Sorry, I'm in a weird mood.
It's okay. Anything you want to talk about?
Unfortunately, no.
Let's think about London. Maybe it could be fun. I'm just gonna use the washroom.
Swedish princess?
I don't know.
Are they trying to push that they want him to, like, find someone? It's hard to read their dynamic, because when they're so involved in his work life as well, it's like, I don't know, it's so different to anything I've experienced with my own parents. It's weird.
I don't fucking know. Get down here. You remember the restaurant, right? Le Tombeau?
I don't know.
He needs a distraction.
Okay, guys, this one never leaves his fucking house.
Me whenever I do anything.
Those Landry's here, man.
She is?
Yeah.
I might be
Title of the episode, interesting. Oh no. Oh no. Please don't go where I think it's going. If it's something that Shane wants, then slay, but we'll see.
The chef gave them to me, and they were really good. I'm not gonna fit in my costume if I eat them all.
Are you Rose? Because you are beautiful.
Wow.
By Bill Paxton.
That is terrible.
He was actually pretty nice to me.
This feels like more of a date than him and Ilia have ever been on, which saddens me.
Shane Hollander, 8 years old. Paint me a picture.
Ooh. Thank you for that question, my darling.
Did it stop being fun?
No.
I bet that being the only Asian kid didn't make it less intense.
Interesting.
I have a Western last name, so it's like the other kids kind of forgot to make fun of me.
Oh, Jesus. That's horrible.
Underdark, kidnapped.
No.
I fly a lot. I watch a lot of movies.
No, that movie is so bad. No, it's horrible.
This is really cute, but I'm torn. So Shane is the one who's instigating all of this.
Roz, you gotta see this. You're gonna shit, man.
Oh no. Oh no.
She's like a huge fucking movie star.
How the fuck did he even meet her during the season?
She's shooting a film in Montreal.
How the fuck do you know
It
that?
says it right there.
Oh no.
And there's Rose Landry wearing a Shane Hollander jersey. That's gonna upset some.
Okay, things are getting serious then, I see. Oh, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm torn in a million different ways. I think that she seems like an absolutely lovely girl. She's inquisitive. She's emotionally intelligent. My God, in the conversation that they were having to bring up the being the only Asian kid, you know, recognizing that that might be a struggle he has, immediately recognizing the language he was using to realize that it may not have been fun anymore, you know? Like, she was listening intently, and that's really fucking sweet for someone you've just met to, like, already be trying to understand them that well, you know what I mean? But, yeah, damn. I don't know. This is so confusing. The thing that is throwing me the most off is Shane's sexuality. It's still a question mark for me because the way in which Shane was talking to Ilia about it, when Ilia was asking him about women and stuff like that, it very much gave the vibes of, I think we've probably all been in this place, every gay person, where you are being questioned by a straight person about sexuality in some kind of way, and you go into this like weird... like, your walls go up, you go defensive, you try and end the conversation as quickly as possible, you turn away to not look at them, you speak quickly, you know, it's like, I related so hard to the vibes that I was getting from Shane in that moment, that said to me that he's not interested in women at all, but then he does seem interested in her, but I don't know if it's that dynamic of... you're not necessarily... I don't know if he's getting confused about feelings, like, let's say he is, like, full-on gay, he's not attracted to women in that way. Could it be that he is actually really loving her as a person, and she is someone that he's able to get close to in a way that he hasn't been able to get close to a lot of other people in his life? And so it's kind of like that is a little bit confusing, where you think that, oh, is this what it's meant to be? Is this what a relationship is meant to be? But, I mean, for things to progress between the two of them, in the world that we live in and the expectations that people have, they have to be having sex. You know, like, that has to be a part of their relationship. So I think the big question is whether Shane is actually interested in women, because that will change things a lot in my mind. Because if he's not interested in women, then obviously, my boy, no, you can't be leading her down this path, you know. But if he is interested in women, I can't say that I'm sat here saying, no, break things off, go with Ilia, because I don't know, if it's been this many years and they've never gotten to the point of even dating, I'm not going to tell Shane that this isn't something that he should want or pursue, you know? If he's having these, like, deep conversations about his life with someone, something that he just can't have with Ilia, because Ilia a lot of the time is against it, I'm not going to be sat here telling Shane that this isn't right for him, you know what I mean? We'll just have to wait and see how things go. But in regards to Ilia, oh, that sucks. You know what I mean? I think that Shane has always been Ilia's, like, I don't want to paint Ilia in a bad light, but people like Ilia who really struggle with getting intimate with someone and, like, actually forming a relationship with someone, a lot of the times they find people who they don't have to, like, worry about. They find people who they don't have to stress about. And that's not to say that that is exactly why he chose Shane. I think it's just, like, best of both worlds in the sense that he never had to worry that, or at least up until this point, he hasn't had to worry that Shane is, like, finding someone else or, like, starting a relationship with someone, you know what I mean? Whereas for Shane, because Ilia's never opened up or anything, I think that's always been a worry for Shane. I think he's always been stressed. I mean, you can see it on his face the second that Ilia mentioned Svetlana, that Shane was like, okay, so this is someone that he's been fucking this whole time, you know what I mean? And even though Ilia made it clear that that wasn't anything, like, it wasn't ever going to go anywhere else, Ilia then said that he was going to want to find someone else. So I'm sure that would be pushing Shane forward in this direction as well. It's like, same with everything in this show. It's so complicated and there are so many different factors at play that I don't know why Shane has decided to pursue this relationship. But if it is real and he actually is interested in women and he's interested in this woman, then go for it, my boy, at this point.
Well, it's hard to blame either one. They are definitely one hot couple.
They are fine.
Hey, I was watching that.
Bless. Oh, no. They communicate a lot better and a lot more lovely than he does with Ilia. But he's still thinking about him.
The visiting Boston Raiders managed 4 shots.
Oh, God. I hate this. I hate this so much. I almost don't want to watch. I want to, like, look away from the screen.
I need to get laid. Let's go out.
I was going to say, is he going to find someone to hook up with?
We're in Montreal. We find the fucking club. Tell people!
Don't tell me they're going to end up in the same club. Oh, you cannot play this song, especially given the bloody queer elements to it. And they're Russian. Running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. Guys, this is one of my fucking belting songs. I'm going to have to try and control myself.
That is a lie.
Hey, I want to dance with with Shane.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
This is not enough. Oh. Oh. I'm sure it's just happen chance that Ilia is doing that right in front of Shane.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, that hit hard, I assume. Oh, that face. No, no, don't. I will actually cry. That's actually... Oh my god. Interesting that they didn't show Shane folding his clothes there. Is that potentially an indicator that he's uncomfortable? So Ilia went home alone. Interesting. I don't know what to say. That was just... Oh, this show, bro. It's so fucking well done. Like, it's so good. In every single way, it's so good. I'm blown away by it each and every week. That was, like, a masterclass of storytelling. And I think this show just, it shows each and every time how incredible it is at communicating things without dialogue. I think that so many shows, especially nowadays, and I can't remember if I've spoken about it in this show specifically, but I've spoken about it recently in a reaction, so apologies if I'm repeating myself, but I think a lot of shows nowadays, they really struggle with... like, using things like exposition way too much. They treat the viewer like an idiot. They treat the viewer as if we are not able to, like, piece things together ourselves. They treat us as though we're not human beings ourselves with our own experiences to be able to understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? It feels as though they're treating us all like toddlers who are, like, new to the world and don't understand. And I get so frustrated watching TV where you can, like, so easily tell that dialogue has been written not to be interesting, not to be complex, but it has been written so that you're, like, fully making sure that the viewer is understanding what's going on. And I saw something about that recently, and I don't know how much credibility it has, but it was something to do with the idea that, it was something to do with the idea that a lot of TV nowadays has been dumbed down because a lot of companies are looking at it as, because a lot of people are distracted by their phones, they are thinking, right, let's take into account that people are going to be distracted by their phones. We need to make the dialogue as easy to follow as possible so that if someone's looking down and then they look back up, they can understand what's going on. Don't know how much credibility that has. Do not get me wrong, but I did hear something about that recently, and that made a lot of sense from what I've been seeing in TV in recent years. But I just love and appreciate that not only has this show, like, not done that, and it's, like, actually fucking complicated and fucking beautiful, but that it's also queer. Like, it's also a queer love story. Like, that is just best of both worlds. But God, that one hurt. Let's just say that. So yes, there we have episode 4 of Heated Rivalry, and as I said, that was a wonderful episode. Always is going to be a wonderful episode in this show, but that was so painful. So painful. I was expecting it to go in some kind of direction of things getting fucked up again. Did not see it. If you'd asked me at the start of the episode who I thought was gonna be the one to cause things to get rocky again, wouldn't have said Shane. Would not have said Shane. But I don't think I don't think this is unrealistic in the slightest. I think that after so many years of things being as they are, I'm not surprised that Shane would be seeking something else. I'm also so curious as to what's going on in Shane's head. What was the actual thing that caused him to seek this out? I think it's a multitude of things, in my opinion. I think that, as I was talking about earlier, I think that adding autism into the mix when it comes to the poor communication that Ilia has, I think that can make things more complicated, because the way that Ilia communicates is very much in ways that you are having to read between the lines in fucking every sentence that comes out of his mouth, and it's frustrating because I don't think that that's a language barrier thing. I might be wrong, it might be, but I don't think it is. I think what it is the opposite. I think it's having such a good understanding of English that this is intentional. I think that after all these years, he's got, like, such a good grasp of it that he is being intentional in the way that he is, like, teetering around the true answer, you know. And I think that the way that he communicates can be so confusing for a neurotypical, but let alone someone with autism, you know. Like, Ilia states things as facts that I don't think are facts. I don't think are exactly how he feels, but he's just not truthful, shall we say, in his responses, that it gets really confusing. You know, it gets so hard to understand where he's coming from, you know, but then being neurodivergent myself, I don't know if I'm even understanding properly, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm even picking up on exactly what he's, like, trying to convey, and so it gets so frustrating on my end, let alone Shane's end. So I think that the frustration of that and the not able to fully understand where Ilia stands, or at least maybe understanding where Ilia stands, but understanding the lies, shall we say, of Ilia basically saying that he was, like, wanting to find someone else. I think that was very interesting. I also, oh no, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm going to write this down and I'm going to get back to what I was talking about. Oh god, I forgot. I've just written it down and I've forgotten what we were talking about. Oh shit. Oh yeah, the reasons that Shane has made this decision. I think it's backed up by that. I also think that having that conversation with Rose in the restaurant and things progressing further, the texting between the two of them, how much better of a texter she is with Shane, how much more lovely she is with Shane, you know, like, for Ilia and Shane, I think that we, in the last time that we saw them together being intimate and everything at Ilia's house, that was, like, the biggest example that we've ever had of them being, like, lovely with each other, specifically from Ilia to Shane. Like, Ilia was being so lovely. I think that it brings up the thoughts that I was having in episode 2 surrounding Ilia's mother and the loss of that comfort in his life, you know, because obviously his dad is not in the best place physically in his health and everything, and so adding that into the mix, you are losing your other parent. But focusing on his mum specifically, the vibes that I've gotten so far is that his mother was the nurturing, kind, loving one of the two parents. It seems like his dad was more so very strict, very pushy when it came to his career and everything. He was like the, I'm gonna, like, make sure that you do well and everything, and I'm not gonna give you any, like, cushions, you know. I'm gonna be this, like, that kind of parent, you know what I mean? Whereas I'm getting the vibes that his mother was the more loving and caring one. And so with that in my mind, it's like, I think that comes into play when it comes to Ilia seeking relationships, or more so that he hasn't sought a serious relationship before. And I think it's because it's, like, just so deep rooted in him. It's so hard to let that in, because that is, like, a massive loss in his life. And I think that unfortunately Ilia was getting to a place where he was feeling a lot more comfortable with Shane. I think that after all this time to still not be anywhere more than what they were, I don't know if, say Shane hadn't sought Rose out, say things just kept going, I don't know if it would ever have progressed past that point. Like, we might have just met the apex of what their relationship could be. Maybe once they both retired, things might have gotten more serious or something. I don't know. I feel like Ilia would just go back to Russia or something, though. I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel like we like reached the peak of what their relationship could be at that point. I think that it needed something to make them both, like, have to realize the, like, seriousness of their feelings for each other. I think that for a while Shane has realized that. This episode threw a spanner in the works, because obviously as Ilia was becoming more loving towards him and everything, Shane was the one to push away. But Shane has been the one previously who, it seems as though he was, like, so down for the relationship. It's been so long, and everything he's heard from Ilia, I'm sure, has been confusing to say the least, that I think it was just becoming really hard to accept this as what their relationship was. You know, that they're not boyfriends, they're not together. Shane can't talk about that relationship with anyone, you know, and so you add that element in of Ilia being more lovely towards him, but things still being the way they've been for so many years. I think it was just even harder for him, because it's like, I can't do this. I can't have these, like, serious feelings develop, and you being so lovely to me, and then we're just not going anywhere. So I think that's a factor at play as well. I think another factor at play, which is, like, the most obvious one, is conformity. You know, you've got his parents pushing him with the Swedish princess, because even though that was very minor from what we saw, he obviously has conversations at times with his parents that we don't see. So they've probably mentioned things before that he's easily able to pick up, that that's where they're going with their line of questioning. So I think that pressure's there. He's also got his teammates questioning him about relationships. He would have the media questioning him about relationships. I think that it would have all just, like, reached a point where once all of these different elements hit at the same time, I think it would have caused him to think, this just feels so easy, you know? And it's not just that, oh, this feels so easy, I'm going to fake it, but then actually sitting down with Rose, realizing how lovely of a person she was, then like the communication between the two of them being one just so robust and good, like they communicate about everything, and they seem like a really, like the way that they were communicating in that short bit of text that we were seeing seemed so healthy relationship wise, that you add in the comfort that she obviously provides because she is being so lovely towards him. I think that it was just such a contrast to what's been going on with Ilia, that even though the actual intimacy, even though the actual moments that he has with Ilia, to me at least so far, feel more real, feel more raw. I think that the flashing to Ilia when Shane was having sex with Rose at the end there was meant to signify that he was thinking about Ilia. I think that was him kind of I think it was the show's way of telling us that he's thinking about him. He's not just moved on or something like that. That is what's going on here. But I could have been reading that wrong or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that we've unfortunately gone in the direction of there just being so many pressures surrounding the two of them and their relationship, so many pressures surrounding Shane specifically, so much pain for Shane not having the relationship that he wants with Ilia, thinking based on the way that Ilia communicates that he's never going to have it, he's never going to be able to have that relationship, to then also add in the fact that with Ilia questioning him about liking girls and how deflective he was being, maybe that added a pressure in and of itself that Shane was thinking, maybe I should be getting with girls as well, you know, like they are lovely, you know, like I just think that there are so many factors at play here that I'm not surprised by the development in the context of what we've seen this episode. I am surprised if you had asked me at the end of episode 2, or like you had told me that this was going to happen at the end of episode 2, I'd have been like, huh? You know, but I think the episode did a fantastic job of explaining where Shane's at in his head to make these decisions, but it just breaks your heart because the whole episode we were seeing Ilia become so much more loving, so much more intimate, so much more just lovely that I don't know. I really don't know. It's just so fucking heartbreaking to see this. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking to see the person who was struggling to open up so much finally get to that place of opening up, and it kind of blowing up in their face. You know, it just fucking sucks. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, with that said though, I do have quite a few notes. They are a bit chaotic and jumbled up, so I'm going to just read through and see where we go. Oh yeah, the conversation that he was having with Rose when they were talking about him and the other Asian kid when he was younger in the sport and everything. I don't know if at 8 years old he would have been like doing hockey specifically or just on the ice, I'm not sure, but yeah, talking about the fact that because he had a Western name, they forgot to make fun of him or something, or because he was like so good as well, they wouldn't make fun of him. That's just fucking heartbreaking, you know, not just for the other kid, obviously, but also for Shane feeling sort of like, I don't know how to word this, like, oh, I need to be good, I need to be the absolute best so that they don't make fun of me, you know, and me having this Western name, me having a white parent as well, you know, that biracial element coming in of feeling as though he maybe doesn't belong to either community, you know, like, they still have prejudice towards him, but because he's good at the game or because he has like a Western last name, they're not going to make fun of him, whereas this other Asian kid, they're going to make fun of him, obviously, they're going to bully him, obviously. You know, I just feel like that is just such an interesting element to add in because I don't think we focus on the racial side of things a lot in this show, which I don't think is surprising because we're focusing on the sexuality element the most, given the context of the story. But I like that they keep it there. You know, like we even had earlier when they were talking about Wimbledon, the fact that he was thinking, oh, it's because the box is too white, isn't it? You know, I think that it's just so interesting to throw these elements in because it is unique to his story in this story, you know, like Ilia has his own uniqueness when it comes to being from Russia and the complexities that has, but I really like that we focus on the racial elements here and there with this show because it's real to Shane's journey, it's real to who he is, it is a struggle that he actually goes through, so to not focus on it would be absolutely stupid, and I just think they did a good job this episode of giving it like the time that it needed in the context of the story, you know what I mean? Another thing I wrote down, which I am curious about, is I'm curious about how the relationship between Shane and Rose is going to go when it comes to the distance element, because obviously distance was a massive factor in Shane and Ilia's building relationship, and it's always been an issue when it comes to them getting closer with each other. You could say that it's also been a factor as to why things have gone on as long as they have, because the distance allows specifically Ilia up to this point, given that he was like scared of the intimacy and stuff like that, it allows a certain level of just like what's the word, like it's not distance by choice, it's distance by they just have to accept that that's the world that they live in, and I think that makes things easier for a character like Ilia. So I think that it could have been a positive, but it's also been a massive negative, especially for Shane, also Ilia as well, but we're talking like outward feelings definitely for Shane. And so having this partner who is at the moment around him, I'm curious as to where her job will take her, because if she starts having to film somewhere else, that will also add a distance element into that relationship as well. And is that where Shane may start to see the cracks? Is that where Shane may start to see that he doesn't care for her as much as he was thinking? I don't know. Again, I don't know if Shane is actually gay or not. I don't know if this is a matter of him hiding his sexuality, conforming, because of what Ilia was saying as well, kind of like thinking that he needs to experience this. I don't fucking know. There's so many factors. But yeah, I'm curious to see where the story's going, because I don't think the story's going to go in a direction of him settling down with Rose long term, and we're going to like end season 1 with him and Rose like fucking married or something. I don't think that's the direction we're going in at all. I think it's going to get to a point where Shane and Ilia, like, Shane ends up having to break things off with Rose because he realizes his feelings, but they still don't become public or something. I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like that's unrealistic for their stories at the moment. But given how much we skip time and everything in this show, I'm just so curious to see how long this relationship with Rose is going to last. Because, oh god, if he's thinking about Ilia every time that they have sex, that's so unfair to her. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just have to wait and see. Another note I made, which like we just have to get into, was the choice to use All the Things She Said as the song for that sequence. I love that song. It has been one of my favorite songs my entire life. Like, it is just it's a fucking banger of a song, but also the themes within it are just like so wonderfully perfect when it comes to like explaining the queer experience, you know. And I just think in the context of what was happening in that club, using that song was fucking brutal but beautiful. Like, it's almost like they looked into the future and wrote that song for this show. You know what I mean? It's so beautiful, you know, talking about the societal judgment, the thinking that you're going crazy in your head for the feelings that you're having, the internalized shame going on with being with a person of the same sex, you know, and like the eyes of the public seeing you and everything, you know, like every single theme of that song, every single element of that song works so perfectly, on top of the fact that they're Russian. You know, you add that element in as well. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And this song is actually, when I was speaking previously, I think it might have been in episode 1, could have been episode 2, but when I was speaking previously about remembering that Russia used to be a lot more welcoming than it is nowadays when it comes to queer youth and everything, it was because of this song and what I've looked into with this song. Because at the time, yes, Russia was like the most progressive, but it was so much better than it was nowadays. But then Putin came in, things got so much worse in Russia, and this song has always been one of the most interesting ones, because I remember it was years ago that I looked into this song and I saw that it was these 2 Russian women that had sung it, which I didn't know previously, and I was like, oh, Russian women? But like, this is like a very queer themed song, which I wouldn't have expected from Russia. Looked into it, you know what I mean? And so add that element in as well, and it's like, oh my god, what genius picked this song out for this show? You know, it's just so fucking perfect in every single way. And then speaking of that scene though, my god, what a scene of television. You know, you got Ilia placing himself intentionally in front of Shane so that he will see that he's making out with that woman. You've then got Shane leaving because he's having these really painful feelings. You've got him then standing there just staring at Ilia, seeing his heart break basically, but kind of have to accept within himself that, I don't want to say it, but like, this is the consequences of his own actions, but you know what I mean. It's not as if Ilia has just done this out of nowhere, it's because he's hurt by Shane. But I think that the contrast of Ilia sleeping with Rose, no, cancel that, Shane sleeping with Rose, whereas Ilia was on his own, is so interesting, because I'm curious now as to whether Ilia has been with any other men since beginning things with Shane, because I'm sure he's been with other women. I don't know that. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he has just been all talk, you know, and Shane has been the only person he's had sex with since beginning things with him way back when. But if he has, I don't think it's been with any other men. I think that Shane is the only man since Shane, since like developing feelings for him and everything, that he's actually been with, because I don't know, I could be wrong on that, but I was just getting those vibes, you know, seeing that guy across from the bar and like not pursuing things with him, choosing to find this random woman, speaking about girls as like hot girls, very much commodifying them, whereas he only mentioned Shane, you know, he didn't say, but I also like men, he said, but I also like you know, and I think that was meant to, in Ilia's way of communicating, signify that Shane was like a special person for him. He wasn't just a hookup, he wasn't just this like one of the people he sleeps with. This is like a serious relationship in Ilia's eyes. It's just, as serious as it can be, given the lives that they lead, but God, that was heartbreaking. You know, it was expected. I think that unfortunately things have just gone on for way too long, and along with a million other factors, I'm not surprised that Shane was seeking comfort in another person, especially after having that conversation with Rose and realizing how much he liked being able to open up to someone, being able to have like a close relationship with someone. I'm not surprised that we've gone in the direction we have. I'm just really scared for where we're going, both for our boys and also Rose. I don't want her heart to get broken, but I don't think Shane is actually like liking her in the way that he thinks he is. I don't think he's lying. I think he's lying to himself. I think he's convinced himself that this is real and that these feelings that he's having equate to being in love with someone, but I don't know, looking at Ilia across the dance floor and just immediately detaching from Rose and just staring at Ilia, that shows where his feelings really do lie, you know? So, we'll see. But I don't see that lasting at all. Right, hello, this is obviously me from the future, different outfit. This is Editor Harry. I've just edited episode 4. Absolutely spectacular. I mean, did I expect anything less? Absolutely not. I have also seen episode 5 and 6, and so I can tell you right now, love and adore them, and I'm very excited to be editing them for YouTube as well. But yeah, thought I would talk to you guys quickly for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I'm so very sorry for there being a massive gap between uploads. Wasn't intentional, wasn't planned. Stuff happened behind the scenes, personal life-wise, that took a lot of attention, but also I think I had a little bit of an ADHD burnout. I'm not going to lie. I don't like admitting that, but I think that is what happened. I think I pushed myself that little bit too much. My fellow ADHDers will understand the pain all too well. But yes, very sorry for that. I am absolutely getting back into the swing of things, so episode 5 and 6 will not be nearly as long as it's taken to get from 3 to 4. Do not worry about that. I can't give an exact date, because I'm trying to be weary of my brain going into 2026. I'm trying to just accept that I can't be too exact about promises and things like that, because that's not how my brain works. But yes, I will be getting them out ASAP. But the second thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and you've probably already noticed, this video is shorter than the previous 3. Basically, on the same line of thinking with that, I think that having this little bit of time off between uploads has given me some time to think and everything. I'm kind of just having to bite the bullet of what YouTube is nowadays, and that is basically in regards to long-form content. I've noticed, and I've been very aware of it for a while now, that long-form content, especially when I include the question time, for example, where it like doubles the length of the video, they don't do as well nowadays, and it's frustrating. I've never wanted to like conform or like change content to fit an algorithm or like what YouTube wants, but unfortunately, with the economic state of the world, I'm having to face reality, let's just say that. And so I'm trying to change content on YouTube a bit. I'm trying to make it a little bit more streamlined, not in regards to the reaction itself. Like, for instance, the question times and everything is still available on Patreon and everything. Patreon is the place where, like, I am the most unfiltered. I get into things a lot more, you know, like, you guys don't even know. You know the moments in the episodes where I'm pausing? There's even more in the Patreon ones. That's how much of a bloody yapper I am. But I can't include all of it on YouTube because they just don't perform very well. And it's so frustrating because I wish that they did, you know, because I know that there's so many people on YouTube who love the question time parts of the videos, you know, love the discussion areas. And, like, it frustrates me that's not working right now, you know, but it is a reality of the landscape nowadays, so I'm having to bite the bullet with that, so I'm very deeply sorry. Did not want to just, like, leave this and it come across as me kind of like, well, if you want it, head over to Patreon, that's where it is, because that's not it at all. As I just said, cost of living, we're all going through it. I'm not expecting anything from anyone, do you know what I mean? But just to say, if you did want that stuff, because it does exist, it is on Patreon. Patreon content is not changing. I'm still going to be doing question time, all of that. For a lot of shows, I probably will still be including the question times on YouTube as well, because this is literally just a matter of the length of time, and both a positive and a negative when it comes to this with Heated Rivalry is. Heated Rivalry is a very complex, beautiful show, but what comes with that is the fact that it does take me longer to like dissect stuff, and it means that we get a lot more questions. The videos end up a lot longer, and so that's why we've gotten to this point where I was looking at the footage overall, and the reaction itself with my breakdown and then the question time next to it, I think the question time is a little bit over the entire length of the rest of it, and I was like, I can't do that, you know, like I know how the system works nowadays. It's gonna bugger me up if I do that, and I hate that. I have many an issue with YouTube, as I've explained previously, with copyright, things like that. I I know I'm on the platform right now, so do not crucify me, please. I love you, if anyone's listening. But yeah, it's been a frustrating year or two when it comes to the creator side of things on YouTube. So I am having to bite the bullet. Very sorry about that. If anyone like loves the question times and everything, it's out of my hands at this point, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. So yes, as I said though, for a lot of other shows, the question times are still going to be staying, so this isn't even really a big thing. It's just for Heated Rivalry because they're so long, and obviously I've already recorded episode 5 and 6. I can tell you right now, the question time for episode 4 is definitely shorter than both of them, especially the finale. For the finale, I did a separate video basically where it was a completely separate video on a different day where we did like a whole question time breakdown. I'm probably still going to post that on YouTube because that doesn't take too much of my time up when it comes to editing and everything. And if those people who want to watch it, they can watch it. Those who don't, you don't have to. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to do that because it is like a separate thing. But yeah, just for episode 4 and 5 especially, there won't be a question time, unfortunately. So very sorry for that, but we just gotta roll with it, do you know what I mean? But yes, episode 4 though, absolutely smashing. Bloody pleasure to have edited it again. I think that coming and watching this show after finishing the show has given me like such a different perspective that I love and adore. I love when shows, they end off in a way that makes you kind of see the rest of it in such a completely different light, you know, as if you've like fully taken rose-tinted glasses off, for example, and you're like now seeing it in its actuality. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, thank you very much for the support as always, guys. I mean, bloody hell, to be able to do this as my job and have this as my career while I'm able to study on the side as well. Absolutely insane that is even possible. So I love and adore all of you. Thank you so much. As I mentioned, if you want the question time and everything, they are on Patreon, but it's never expected and never feel like you gotta give anything. You know what I mean? Being is enough, bloody hell. I appreciate that at the end of the day. But yes, with that said though, thank you very much for watching as always. And I will catch you very soon, I promise, very soon for episode 5. But for now, bye-bye.